Thank you, friends, for sticking with us. It's Johnny Venerable, Bob Rock, Britton Golden, the halftime show here. PHNX Cardinals live from BetMGM Sportsbook at the Grain Lawn at State Farm Stadium. I can't believe what I just watched over the course of the last 90 minutes as the Arizona Cardinals lead the Washington Commanders on the road 13-10. And Bo Brock, it's been a defensive story.
Absolutely. What the best offense is a great defense, and that's what you're seeing out there. A little aggressive early. You had the late hit from Kazir White. You had another late hit extending the drive, the only scoring or touchdown drive of the game for Washington. But then that aggressiveness, BG, it turned into some big plays for the Arizona Cardinals, and that's why they're leading, including the scoop and score at the end of the half.
It did, though. And, yeah, there was a couple penalties, like you said earlier, but I like the aggressiveness. I like the violence that they came out and played with. They tried to start off this game, look, we're not going to bow down. We're going to come out here. We're going to hit hard. But, it, like you said, it turned into new things. The defense is playing extremely well. The defensive backs are playing out of their minds right now, which is what we were kind of worried about at the beginning. You know, my boy Dennis Gardeck is getting back there.
Can I start my
making
four-part
plays.
apology to Dennis Gardeck? He's got 2 sacks in the half, including the strip sack. And, again, it's one of those things where the personnel is a question mark for a lot of people, especially outside this market. But the coaching is evident, is it not?
Oh, yes. And it's good to see. I mean, you can tell Hoodie Rollis is out there just having great calls, putting guys in positions to play. Zaven Collins is another one that's having a great half with the interception, the fumble recovery. You love to see the defense out there running with, like, their hair on fire.
Yeah. We had 2 questions about this defense going into this game. We talked about it in the pregame show, the pass rush, and it was going to be led by Dennis Gardeck and Zaven Collins, and then the secondary. And both have answered those questions with emphatic, we're in a good spot. You know, you really like what you've seen from a guy who was picked up off waivers in Kayvon Wallace. He's been all around the ball. Oh, yeah. Budda's being Budda. Jalen Thompson's making plays out there. And then you're seeing Marco Wilson be the top corner for this team. You love to see it. The defense, I don't think there's any question about it. They got to continue to make Sam Howell. You don't even have to do that much to make Sam Howell make mistakes. I mean, the pick was brutal. The fumble before the half was brutal. So, I mean, if you could just continue that, I think this defense is going to be in a good spot. The offense is another thing, BG.
Yeah, offensively, we've had some – I feel like the only guy we're looking for right now is tight ends. Right? They're making plays, they're making catches, but we've got to find a way to get that ball downfield and try to stretch that defense. And the run game's another thing. We need to get that run game going so we can open up these deep pass lanes.
Yeah, I hear a lot of what's going on with Josh Dobbs. He looks like a guy who's been here for 2 weeks, and this is what you have to do to support somebody like that. I agree that the first down play calling, that's the only critique I have for this entire half, has not been great. The gimmick stuff with Keontae Ingram, poor guy, and then, not trying to line up in I formation, just pound James Conner. I feel like Josh Dobbs, he's missed some throws, but again, like Zach Ertz, he's got to catch that touchdown in the red zone. You got to pick up your quarterback. The defense is doing its job. Like, this is the kind of outing that you have to have by your team outside of your quarterback to elevate a quarterback that's only been here for 2 weeks. And, respectfully for everybody that's like, this Clayton Tune should be playing. Like, this is Ron Rivera's defense. It's a real defense, Bo.
No, it is. I mean, if you put Tune out there, I think you'll probably see what you're seeing on the other side.
Yeah.
Mistakes, right? Josh Dobbs, to his credit, he hasn't made the mistakes, right? We haven't seen a ball that's been put in harm's way.
Yeah.
Sure, we've seen inaccurate passes. Sure, there's points that you left on the field. But as far as what Dobbs is going to bring in, he's shown you the ability in the Rondell play, right? 31 yards. I thought that was a nice play down the field. He's made a couple throws here and there. Not enough to get into rhythm, but I think enough to where you're not making the mistakes, putting your defense in compromising positions, and this is the product that you get. I mean, I think you'll take that so far.
I do, and I think, the main thing people do have to realize that Josh Dobbs isn't in here to turn into Kyler Murray and turn into a franchise quarterback. He's here to manage this game, and for the most part, he's done it. We just got to get rid of the minor mistakes, and we've got to just try to give our guys more situations to win.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think they're winning on the ground right now. 12 carries, 58 yards, almost 5 yards per pop. Now, a lot of that is skewed by the end around to Hollywood Brown. Speaking of Hollywood Brown, I think Hollywood Brown is somebody that needs to touch the ball more in the second half. He's got 2 touches, one in the pass, or one in the run game, 1 for 29, and then he had that nice catch and run.
Yeah.
I think he's somebody that right now, if the only option is Zach Ertz and Trey McBride and you need a secondary complement at wide receiver, he's the guy to go to right now.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Wilson is on the side of a milk carton, unfortunately. Love to see
through
more
no
from
fault of his own.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. You just hopefully find some of that open space there, but you like what the usage of Rondell Moore, although like all this is just sample size right now. But if this offense can get going, I mean, they defer the opening coin toss and they get the ball to start the second half. This is continue to show that aggressiveness from this new Arizona Cardinals team under Jonathan Gannon to where you can get that killer's mentality. What did he say? I want some fucking killers. Well, this is your chance right now.
Today, absolutely.
It's for sure, and I agree. I mean, I like how the team responded to how Coach Gannon has come out and said stuff. They showed up today with their hair on fire, and I like that.
Can I run through some of these defensive statistics?
Please.
Because they are elite. 4 sacks, 3 tackles for loss. How about this? 6 passes defended. They are eating right now in that secondary. 4 additional QB hits and a defensive score, Bo Brock. Like, I think even in my wildest dreams, expectations for this team, specifically defensively, I did not envision an outing like this thus far.
No, you didn't. You didn't anticipate them being able to take the aggressiveness that they showed, early, and they were penalized for it, and to be able to turn things around as quickly as they did. But that's the discipline that they're able to do within the flow of a football game. Now, the defense has shown that. The second half, with the offense coming out, getting the chance to get their hands on the ball, it's time for Drew Petzing's side of the ball to show that they can do that. Within the flow, they can make those adjustments. And look, this is the opportunity. It's 13-10. A field goal would be nice, but a touchdown, I mean, turn this into a 2-possession game right out of the gates, that would be killer.
What do you need to see, BG, from this offense to start the second half? This offensive possession is imperative. What do you need to see from Joshua Dobbs and Drew Petzing on offense?
The first 5 minutes is going to explain everything. Bruce Arians used to tell us that at halftime every time. This first 5 minutes is going to determine the second half of this football game. So I need that offense to come out, move the ball very well, run it good, get some passes down the field, and get some points out of this.
Yeah, I love this in the chat. Mike Florio is in tatters right now, as is everybody that's hated or ripped on this team. I want to get to the super chat. Albert, I love the intensity, whole new energy. I will say, even with the penalties, which are inexcusable, you don't want the penalties. Outside of like the Marco Wilson, pass interference penalty, the aggressive nature of this team, I do like. Now, you want to clean those up. You don't want 15-yard penalties extending touchdown drives. But I do think it was a direct reflection of how this team wants to play as we start the second half. Both final thoughts.
Yeah, it's just to get this first offensive possession, show something to this fan base, Petzing and crew, because we've already seen it from the defense, Nick Rollis and Jonathan Gannon. Get some points here, stay ahead of it, and come home with that dub.
Make sure to keep it locked into PHNX Sports immediately following, hopefully, a Cardinals dub. For Britton Golden, Bo Brock, I'm Johnny Venerable. We'll see you on the postgame show.